Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I know it's been a couple weeks since I last posted a video where I'm just kind of speaking to the camera like this, but there's been a bunch of updates in the past couple months in regards to my experience as a new real estate agent. So I decided to take some time to update everyone on my experience, on my journey as a new real estate agent. Today in this video, I'm going to talk about my first few open houses, how I got the open houses to work for, and kind of how I got them, what I did to prepare for them, what happened at the open houses, and takeaways after the open house, and what you kind of do afterwards. And I'm going to give it all in the perspective of a new real estate agent. If you haven't been following, I became a new real estate agent and I'm working for Douglas Elliman, and I started in the beginning of April. So it's been about 2 months right now, and a good time to give you guys a little update. And of course, I've been making other videos detailing my first couple months, but in this video, I'm mainly going to be talking about my experience doing open houses. Now, before I get started, I just wanted to ask you guys what other topics you want to hear about, especially for new real estate agents, what you want to know, what I've done so far, what else I've been up to as a new real estate agent, kind of the pros and cons, or whatever you want to know about being a new real estate agent. Please leave in the comment section below and I'll try to answer them, whether in the comments or in the next video. So like I said before, I started as a new real estate agent in the beginning of April of 2021 with Douglas Elliman, and the first week or two was all about catching up, getting all my training in, and kind of getting familiar with all the programs and all the platforms that the company offers. And becoming a new real estate agent, you kind of want to get to know the office, the people, the management broker. So after those 2 weeks of onboarding and getting my Douglas Elliman training, I was given my first open house opportunity. Now, how I got this was through a more experienced agent at the office. During those 2 weeks, I was able to be in the office, make myself present, and kind of get to know all the other agents that were already working there, whether it was just saying hello, striking up a conversation, letting them know that about who I am, why I wanted to do real estate, and my motivations. They were able to get to know me and kind of let me know that if I ever have an open house, I could use the help at the open house to try and get as many buyers as possible. So that was kind of their mentality. They know that a lot of new real estate agents aren't as busy, so they have time to help them with open houses during the weekend, and that's exactly what they told me. So after about a week or so of meeting this more experienced agent at the office, I actually just gave her a call, letting her know that, hey, it was great meeting her, would love to learn more about real estate under her kind of guidance. She said, that's awesome, I've been actually meaning to reach out to you too. I have an open house this weekend actually, and are you available to help me work it? And of course I said yes. Great. I wanted to provide as much value to you as possible, so just let me know how I can help, what you need me to bring to the table, and we'll go from there. So I can kind of get into what I did preparing for my first open house now. And the morning of that open house, I got balloons from the office, tied them around a couple of signs, laid them around busier roads to the direct traffic toward the open house. And then at the open house, I got all the forms, and during April, the forms that were required is the agency disclosure, COVID disclosure, COVID questionnaire, and the fourth one is anti-discrimination. So those are the 4 forms that you need in order to sign people in to come into the house. You also want a separate form documenting the names of the people and their contact information to kind of follow up with them to see if they want to purchase this house, and if you don't have an agent, try to get them or try to help them find another home. So that's how I prepared for this first open house. So actually, after this first weekend of open houses, I did it on Saturday and Sunday, April 17th and 18th. There were actually multiple offers on the house. One of them was over asking price, and that was acceptable until the inspection, where the buyer kind of freaked out about a minor thing that they saw at the house, so they backed out. And unfortunately for the seller, we had to do another open house to try and get another buyer to come in. So that's what happened. The second weekend, I was able to do another open house for the same agent at the same house. I'll probably put a picture of the house right here so you can get a better idea of it. It's in Syosset, New York. 4th place in Syosset. It was going for $1.296 or $1.296 million. It was a fairly new build, 2018 build, colonial style house. And after the second open house, one of the buyers actually put in another acceptable offer, and the deal went through. So just a little recap. Even though someone bought the house, it was through a buyer who already had a buyer's agent with them. So therefore, the listing agent that I was working with got half the split, and then the buyer's agent got the other half of the commission. So usually, if you're helping the listing agent, you don't really get a cut depending on who you're working with. I didn't get a cut of the commission because there was already a buyer's agent. But if someone walked in without an agent and put an offer in the house and it was accepted and it went through the contract, then I would have been able to receive some sort of commission. Now, it may be different depending on what state you're in or what kind of agents you're working with, what company you're in, that maybe the agent that you're working for, you're only there to help out and learn from them the first few times, or you're just there to help recruit or get as many buyers as possible. But in this case, I was given not only that, but the possibility of getting commission if it was sold to a buyer without an agent. So after that first experience, back at the office, other agents kind of knew that I helped out this other agent with her open house. So another agent actually came up to me and asked if I wanted to do an open house with her the following or the upcoming weekend. She had 2 houses actually, and even though I couldn't do both days because she promised another agent that they could help out on Sunday, I said, sure, I can help on Saturday. So I'm not going to go through everything again, but for this in this instance, the same thing happened. Prepared all the forms, got all the signs ready, the balloons ready, prepared for the open house for two different houses with the same agent, one in the early afternoon and one in the later afternoon. Again, awesome experience, met a lot of buyers, and that's kind of the topic that I want to get into, is what happens after the open house, what happens to the list of buyers that comes through the open house, what do you do with them, and how that kind of works. So during these first 2 open houses, I was actually able to gain a bunch of different buyers from the open house. The listing agents that I worked with basically let me know that you can work with these buyers that came in, see if you can call them, contact them, and help them find another house if they didn't, or if they weren't going to put an offer on the house that we showed them to at the open house. Of course, there can only be one buyer at a certain house. Even if everyone loved the house and put in an offer, only one offer could be accepted. So for example, if 10 people came in, 5 of them put in an offer, only 1 could get the offer accepted. The other 9 are probably left still looking for another house. So of those 9, you can split it with the listing agent. Maybe I get 4, she gets 5. Figure out who you want to work with based on how much you talk to them at the open house, and that becomes your contacts or your buyer leads that you can work with in the upcoming months to see if you can help them find something else. I can kind of go into that in a separate video of how I've been helping these buyers and my successes and my, I guess, failures in terms of getting those buyers to convert them. I'm definitely learning from other agents to try and see how I can convert more of these buyers without them being too flaky, but again, I'll talk about it in another video. So I'm gonna keep recapping my other open houses that I've worked at, but in less detail. With the second agent that I was working with, I actually held another open house at one of those 2 houses the following weekend because again, another buyer fell through. And for that one, it was actually on Mother's Day, so I was the only agent that was available to help her. So the listing agent was not there at the open house, which meant that I was doing the open house or holding the open house by myself. Now, this is probably a little more nerve-wracking than doing the open houses before because the more experienced agent was there, but by this time I kind of knew what to do, how to talk to some of the buyers that came in and show them around the houses and to get them to sign all the forms required to walk through the house in terms of COVID and agency disclosures. During that weekend or during Mother's Day, unfortunately I think people were pretty busy with Mother's Day plans. So there weren't as many buyers walking through that house on that day, but I did get a couple of buyers that walked through, built a pretty good connection or a pretty good rapport with one of the buyers. They also spoke Cantonese like I do, so I was able to speak to their family, and by the end of it they were actually able to put in an offer on the house, which I was super excited about until I realized that their offer came or was way lower than the asking price of the home. So even though this offer was probably not going to be accepted, I had to let the seller know that there was an offer, this is the offer, and kind of what do you think about it. So it was basically immediately declined because there were already other offers above the listing price. He was not going to accept something that was under listing, especially by a good percentage as well. Then the 3 weeks after, I helped another agent, one of the top agents at my office. She had an open house again in the same kind of area. It was in Jericho, which is a town over from Syosset. So I helped her out. This home that I helped her out with in Jericho was the previous video I have uploaded on this channel, which is the one that was listed for $899,000. Unfortunately, this house couldn't be sold at the first, second, or third weekend, so that's why I had to do our whole open houses with her for the first 2 weekends, and then on the third weekend, again, I had to hold the open house by myself because she knew I could handle it. And then for that third weekend, she promised, she said that since I'm doing the open house by myself, I can keep all the buyers. I don't have to split any of the buyers with her. So thankfully, during that day specifically, I was able to get 4 or 5 buyers that came without real estate agents. So I'm currently in the process of helping them find another home since they didn't put an offer on the one that I did an open house for. So that's basically it, guys. Those were my open house experience. That was my open house experience these past 2 months. Again, just to recap, I did it for 4 houses with 3 different agents. I want to talk a little bit about open house etiquette and kind of what you do while you're in the house and what you do in general at an open house. So after you set up the open house on MLS, which is the platform that all real estate agents use to check out other listings that other agents have posted. So you post it on there, so most real estate agents will be able to see that. You post it on Zillow to broadcast to the I guess buyer community about the open house that's happening. Social media, kind of advertise as much as possible to get as many people into the door. Then during the day of, you set up signs, balloons, direct traffic to the open house, and usually by then, if it's priced right, agents or other agents or buyers will call the listing agent, letting them know that they'll be attending the open house and they want to make an appointment. Now, most open houses happen on the weekend when people are most available, and it's in the late morning or early afternoon, and not anything later than that. I think most people want to see the open house toward the beginning of their day and then have the rest of the day to think about the open houses that they saw. So generally, the open houses are about 1.5 to 2 hours. Since it is COVID times, we have to get everyone at the door to sign agency disclosure forms, code disclosure forms, etc. And once they've signed all of that, then we're able to let them into the house. So it's important to actually know all the stats and all the, I guess, data about the house in terms of square footage, the taxes are, if it's gas or electric, how many rooms, amenities, point out all the finishes that are in the house, just special characteristics about it that the normal buyer or person might not see. And you just want to point it out to help sell the house. That's kind of it. That's kind of all I want to talk about in this video. Hopefully it helped you, whether you're a new real estate agent or just a someone curious about the real estate market. This is what I've been doing the past 2 months in regards to open houses. Again, let me know what you have, what questions you have in the comment section below, and either I'll comment to answer your questions or make a new video about it. So that's it, guys. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you next time. Peace.